Have you ever planned a trip and in that trip, nothing goes to plan?
The old Liam would have driven Little Red.
It's definitely not fun.
It is completely cool.
Yeah, the trip where everything went wrong is going to be this segment.
So previously, we just spent a week on Fraser Island, but it was time to get off, resupply, and get back on the road.
Goodbye to Dan, and now it's Liam and I, as we adventure through the rest of southern Queensland. We've got a lot of tracks to do, got a lot of places to visit, so let's get right into it.
Being just outside of Rainbow Beach, we decided to head south towards one of the most iconic four-wheel drive destinations in southern Queensland.
Pretty cool little rainforest bit, eh?
Yeah, it's pretty dense.
So, as you might notice, the weather's not exactly on our side.
It's a bit wet.
Sure is.
It's pretty crazy. Looks like we're on Fraser again.
The weather's not turned it on for us at all, but we'll see how we go. All right, Double Island. Here we are. It's like a bay out here.
No rain, no wind. Happy days. Where do you go? Like,
I have no idea, dude.
looks like everyone goes more around the tip up this way.
Arriving at the well-known Double Island Point, we were really hoping to experience the Queensland four-wheel drive fishing lifestyle. However, the weather really wasn't playing ball and it began to get a whole lot worse.
I love it how it's just driving into a void.
Yeah, not a great day to beach camp.
No, not at all.
We luckily found a bit of shelter behind a dune on Tiwa Beach for our camp, and Liam whipped up a good dinner for both of us, as tomorrow we had an early start.
Alright, we're in a bit of a rush this morning because we're trying to beat the high tide to get out of Tiwa Beach and down towards Noosa so I can go across the barge, go down Sunny Coast and pick up Anya. So, high tide's in about an hour, so we got 30k of beach to do, so hopefully we can get there, so let's see how we go.
Luckily, we just made it off the beach and across to the barge.
Just there and up, about to cross the little ferry barge, across the Noosa.
So while Liam stuck around fishing, I took off down to the Sunshine Coast to pick up Anya from the airport after we hadn't seen each other for a few weeks.
Hi! Oh my god.
We then spent the day in Noosa, hanging out, surfing, checking out the spots before airing back down and heading back out to Tiwa Beach to camp for the night. And yes, I might have been a better boyfriend if I had got us a hotel or something, but the intentions were there, the weather just ended up being bad. So with another night spent in the rain, we decided we were better off going inland to find some better weather. And so after washing the salt off the cars, we aired up and got back on the road heading towards Kenilworth.
Well, the weather's a bit average, isn't it, Liam?
Yeah, we haven't really got a break from it. It's just like been persistent, just miserable weather.
Yeah, Anya must have brought the Melbourne weather with her. But I don't know, it's just like rainy so much up here. It's pretty crazy. Hopefully the further south we get, it gets a little bit better, but let's see how we go.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get my hopes up for anything, but we'll see what happens.
So a spot we wanted to check out was Bulma Creek. Nested in some tropical rainforest, this place is known for its pristine swimming holes, campsites, and four-wheel drive tracks. Now this was definitely a more popular spot, and you can tell it gets a fair bit of traffic, but the pools looked awesome and they would have been grouse on a hot day. But with the weather how it was, we checked out some other spots in the area before pulling up to a free camp where we'd spend the night. And here we made some lunch and began to explore some of the hinterland region around us.
What are the chances of catching a fish in there, Liam?
Not this little bit, but that next bit. Next bit's the Mary River.
Ah, oh, is that where it joins on, is
the
it?
Mary River, the big one.
Oh, fair dinkum. So you reckon you're gonna get something?
Yeah, I already seen a few fish jumps or a couple little schools.
This is a pretty impressive boardwalk.
On our walk, we checked out some of the 150-year-old Moreton Bay fig trees.
That is mega. Oh, yeah. Look at the size of that.
My favourite thing.
Wow, look at that, bush tucker.
You'd poison yourself in the first day if you had to survive in the forest. What are you gonna go eat them? Little blueberries. Oh. Someone come along and find Patrick passed out on the side of the track because he ate too many poison berries.
Then we got back to fishing. Liam's really into his fishing at the moment, so he's gonna hopefully get us something.
Liam's swimming out in the Mary River because he got snagged. Now he's trying to recover his lure and the line.
Line recovered.
After our impromptu swim, we set up camp for the night. We had my new lightweight shower heating up on the warm bonnet, which meant Anya could still have her showers without me having to carry a lot of other gear. So with everyone happy now, we made dinner and tried to keep out of the weather.
I just got Anya to turn the camera on because Liam and I were just discussing about the camping up here, because it's a bit different to how it works down in Melbourne. You guys have, in Queensland and in New South Wales, have a permit booking system where you essentially have to pre-book all your camping, which is way different to us down in Victoria, where we just rock up to a campsite, pretty much think that's the best one, first in, best dress, and you get it. And we're just talking about it because it does make things hard, especially when you're new to the area, trying to work out, all right, I might be here at this time, or I might be there at that time, or the weather's turned really bad now, I might need to go over here. The booking system makes everything a little bit harder. We've noticed today, we've like gone to campsites and thought, oh, you know, we might stay here, but we've got no service now, so we have to drive half an hour back out to town to get service to then book it. So,
and even if you plan all your booking just off photos and you rock up and you're like, oh, it's actually not that good.
Well, that's the
thing.
thing.
It's like, oh, too late, you've already paid money for it.
There's no, it's especially all the Queensland side I've noticed, they have like 50 campsites listed at a particular thing. Campsite 52, well, I don't know what campsite 52 looks like. It might have a massive, might be full of mud, like you don't know until you get there. And so you want to get there to pick out the best one. Yeah, so it's just, it's so different up here to what it is down at home. And I don't know how you guys like the system. Like maybe it's good being able to book a full week camping at one spot and know you'll get a spot. But I don't know. I feel like camping is just different to like booking a house on the Gold Coast. Like camping, there's so many dynamics. You know, the weather. You might get stuck out on a track all day. You might be, you know, down fishing all day, and plans change. You know, it's not as simple as just booking a house. I feel like. So I don't know. I'm keen to know what you guys think though. So let us know in the comments. What do you think about pre-booked campsites? Is it the thing that should stay and should be introduced to more places? Or are you sick of it and you reckon it should go back to how it was? Because it's not the money that I worry about. Like, I know campsites need maintenance. I'm happy to pay, you know, to get the toilets pumped. I'm happy to pay to get the grass mowed. I'd love it if they just did like a, you know, all right, how long you want to be here? You want to buy a month camping permit, a 2-week camping permit, and that gets you to all the sites there for that amount of time. Like, the money's not the issue. It's more like having to commit to camp at this spot this night, especially when there's next to no phone service out in some of these places. It makes it impossible to like book on the fly, if that makes sense. So anyway, I'd love to hear your comments. Let us know in the comments. Booking systems, yay or nay. Love to hear it.
So the next day we woke up to rain yet again, but we weren't going to let it dampen our spirits. We made our way towards the coast, stopping down near Mullaney.
We'll try to spot a platypus.
Okay, there's no platypus.
Before heading out to a spot Liam and I had been meaning to check out for a long time.
Still the old wooden bearing degrees. Alright, so the rain has finally stopped and we're actually made it to the Glasshouse Mountains, which is a place you wanted to come and check out while we're up here in Queensland. Not only because it's geographically very interesting, like it's crazy, there's like all these random peaks just popping out of the ground. It's a bit cloudy today, but if you had a clear day, it'd look absolutely insane. But it's also home to some of Queensland's most notorious four-wheel driving. You know, tracks like Big Red, Little Red. It's meant to be all pretty wild around here.
Yeah, particularly in the wet too. Like just because it stopped raining, it's been raining here for like the last couple of days, and we've heard that when it's wet, it's like a different ball game. It's not like the high country down south. In the dry, doable. In the wet, nah.
We actually heard even from up here, we heard like a TB42 like on song down the valley, just echoing around. But yeah, we're going to go check out some of Queensland's hardest tracks, and who knows if we'll actually attempt them. We'll probably chicken out. But I'm keen to see you in person anyway.
Yeah, it's more so I just want to get, because you see, you know what it's like. Video never does stuff justice in terms of steepness and difficulty. So we want to go see it in person, because then it can be like, then I'll actually be impressed when I see people driving on the internet.
Yeah, so it's like just 10 minutes down the road, so let's get in the cars and head down. Geez, you can see why it gets its name Big Red. It's bloody red. Right. Holy moly.
So we're standing at the bonus line at the top of Big Red, and it is just like, I'd love to see a car drive it in person. That's how crazy it is.
You're not going to do it?
Nah. Nah. I'm sure there's people that can do it and not damage their car, but
I'm not skilled enough to do that. I couldn't do it if it was dry for 10 years. I still wouldn't be able to do this. This is just wild.
I feel like the reason it is able to be so steep and off camera and sketchy is because when it's dry, all this rock would give you heaps of grip. Like it's like that real like volcanic like.
Yeah, it's very textured rock.
Yeah,
it's not smooth faced. It's
nah. So I feel like if it, in the dry, you'd actually have heaps of grip. You'd just be able to crawl up. But in the wet, no thanks. So yeah, we can blame it on the weather. We didn't drive it because of the weather.
That's our excuse, is it? Yeah. We were probably never really going to attempt that, especially in the wet, but it does give us a good appreciation for all you guys who do actually drive this stuff, because yeah, you have to have some, you know, balls of steel to pretty much do this. Like, yeah, it's pretty full on.
Yeah, definitely.
So with our tails between our legs, we went down and checked out Little Red, which we thought we might actually be able to give a shot.
That is actually insane seeing you in that, because you're not small, and it's literally your height.
Imagine the angle your car be on. Yeah, in the wet, this is like no chance. Not unless you're twin like Treps. Well, that's what I reckon anyway. I could be wrong. Someone will prove me wrong. But, oh, I did it on a GQ with 32s in the wet. But
yeah, no, that's.
And even like up. Oh, that's the next bit. I think that's the hard bit. Is like there's like a little pinch point at the top where you like sit right in.
Well, the weather the next like few days is all rain. So seeing on YouTube is one thing, Liam, and seeing it on real life.
Whole new world of respect. Like, it's a bad excuse to say that the weather is making us not do stuff, because a lot of people will be like, oh yeah, wet weather, sick, like hardcore driving, but it's just turning everything from like being like, you know, kind of doable and controlled to just like sketchy and just like, yeah, I don't know.
If it was dry, you'd definitely be more inclined to give things a little bit of a crack, but the weather doesn't help, and the fact that I gotta drop Anya off at the airport in 2 hours doesn't help either.
Don't forget about me.
Yeah. The perfect storm.
Almost someone would say we planned this, Liam, not to in order to chicken out of doing it.
Yeah, I know, I don't want to be labelled a chicken.
I'm happy to be labelled a chicken, because honestly, if it was dry, I probably wouldn't drive either of them anyway, so. Bark, 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 bark. The old Liam would have driven Little Red.
Huh?
The old Liam would have driven Little Red.
Don't say that, because it's stupid, because I got beadlocks and 35 muddies and I'd like, oh no, it's too hard.
Just get out of here, just go forward.
The old Leaf Sprung Patrol would have driven Little Red.
Yeah, I actually would have tried it.
The problem is it's going to be raining the whole rest of the week. Like, we need to sit in Sunshine Coast for like a week and wait out the rain.
Yeah, I know. It's annoying.
It really is genuinely just bad timing. And yes, people are going to think maybe we chickened out, but I mean, I chickened out. They can say I chickened out, but you don't feel like if it was dry, you wouldn't give it a crack.
Well, that's technically still chickening, isn't it?
Yeah, well, chickening due to environmental conditions, sure.
This is a mental note to myself. One day I want to drive that track. Maybe not in this car, or maybe when this car starts getting a little bit more rough around the edges, but one day I want to drive it.
Alright, Queensland update. It's still raining. I've dropped Anya off at the airport, so she's all sweet. And now I'm meeting up with Liam, and Liam has gone and found a campsite.
The campsite Liam found was an old scout camp, but it was still raining and everything was about to get a little worse.
What's that saying?
3.87 volts.
It's straight off the battery.
Yep.
Essentially, we've rocked up to camp and we've realised that
Now Liam discovered a major issue with his 12-volt system, but we'll tackle that in a different episode because there's a fair bit to unpack.
Alright, it's been 5 days of consistent rain now in Queensland. It's definitely not fun, and the rain is just making every place miserable to camp at, essentially. Thank God we've got an awning, because that is the only thing keeping our morals alive. Otherwise, we probably would have headed south a lot faster by now. But we're really hoping this rain starts to move on the further south we go. So, sunshine, please come back.
Alright, so as you can see, the weather has not improved at all. It is still miserable, but we're in Breezy. We're getting a few more bits sorted before we head back out into the bush. Now, as you saw over the last sort of couple of weeks when we've been turning around Fraser, my swag has been leaking like a sieve, and that has led to some terrible nights sleep and me waking up in a puddle of water. It's just all a big puddle of water, that's all.
Oh, there's so much water in there, oh my God.
And like, it was literally just like in open space, like through there, water just dripping out. Like, it's not even on a seam.
And you seasoned this before we left.
And I seen this season it all before we left. Like, soaked it completely. And that's, so I don't understand.
Bro, you've been just sleeping in water
Yeah,
all
that's why I
night.
didn't sleep at all. I slept for like 2 hours when it's finally stopped raining. So. But the boys at Ocam 4x4 in North Lakes actually caught wind of the troubles I was having, and they said, come on down because we reckon we got a swag for you that'll sort you out. So let's go see what they got for me. All right, here we are. Cooper, how you doing?
Hey Liam, how are you?
Yeah, good, thanks.
That's good.
I heard you guys have got a swag for me.
Yeah, we've heard you've had a couple of troubles with your current one.
Yeah, I've been having some pretty rough night's sleep, so I'm keen to sort it out.
Yeah, I've got one just over here.
Oh yeah, look, here we go. Yeah, this is what I needed. I've been having the worst night's sleep in my current swag, but I think this is going to sort it all out. And
I'm sure
it's going to
keep you nice and dry.
Yeah, and it'll fit in the patrol way better too, because the other one's just, been a nuisance. So yeah, let's get it in. Now, while I was here at the Ocam store, I just wanted to have a cheeky look at their new range of rooftop tents because although I'm in a swag still, I've been eyeing off the way Paddy's been camping, Dan's been camping, and it looks pretty nice. So this might be something to sort out when we get back, but for now, I'm going to have a look around at what they've got on offer. I actually reckon the Z tent, I don't reckon it would be that thick, packed up, because if I'm going to stick a rooftop tent on, I'd almost be tempted. Yeah. Now, I have been a swag man traditionally, but looking at all these new tents, I think I might be slowly getting converted. All right, cheers guys, we'll see you later. Oh, straight back into the humidity. I actually can't get over it, especially when it's raining. It's so hot up here.
So with the rain not seeming to be improving, we had to do something.
All right, so it's raining again today and we've had enough. We're heading south. We can't hold here for a whole week waiting for the rain to pass because it's still gonna be here the next 4 days. So instead of sitting around, we're gonna go to Sundown National Park because it's about 3 hours from here. It's more inland, so hopefully it's drier. It'll give us a chance to dry our clothes and have a campfire and just do all that stuff we've been missing. So yeah, we're en route now. Should be there pretty soon.
So we fueled up, gathered our supplies and hit the road, hoping to outdrive the rain.
We've been having rain ever since we got off Fraser Island. It's been really bad. In fact, I think this whole video, it's been raining.
We eventually made it to the small town of Ballandine, where things again weren't going our way.
The trip where everything went wrong is going to be this segment from DI to here. Alright, so the last week hasn't exactly gone to plan, and it continues to go not to plan. Liam obviously is having major battery issues.
By major, he means the battery doesn't work anymore. It is completely cooked.
Yeah, major batteries. Anyway, so we're down a fridge and a vehicle essentially in terms of the camping setup. And now my one's having issues and it's not charging properly, which is like, why? Anyway, I pulled everything. Don't say kings.
I was going to say insert comments of people saying, poor man pays twice.
Yeah, anyway. I'm going to redo it. I'm pulling all the wiring off, letting everything hopefully reset, and hopefully it can start charging again. Because it's like charging for like a minute, and then going off for like 5 minutes, then coming back charging, and then coming off. So anyway, I'm going to try and reset it all, and hopefully we can get power, because we're about to enter a national park, and we're going to be out in the elements, and yeah, we need a fridge. Otherwise, all that grocery shopping we did today is not gonna last long, is it? So, go get an esky.
I don't think we can wing it because we literally will not have a fridge.
Simple, buy bag ice. Right?
No, Patrick.
Go back to the old days.
There is no old days. Where are you going to buy ice from in a national park?
The ice man that comes around. I don't know, Liam. I don't know. It's all falling apart. Oh, that's good. Hopefully stay like that. If it holds it for like a minute, I know it's probably fixed.
So we should have just done this ages ago. Because now we've only got like not even an hour to try and
Never doubt a king's battery, Liam.
No, but
What I'm saying is now we've only got like not even an hour to try and recharge a battery.
No. It'll get us close. It'll be alright. It'll get us through tonight, and then tomorrow will 4 be all day, and it'll be all good. Job done! Back on the road!
Next time, we are back in the bush and in one of Queensland's less ventured but epic four-wheel drive destinations. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of the action.